And this episode is sponsored by Squarespace. I'm so happy.
So recently, a lot of my episodes have been about conventions and Bangarang. And actually, I did a Bangarang report last episode that no one really watched, which I'm going to stick up here. There. But this episode is all about Salute, which is held in London, which is another convention. But luckily, they've asked me to make something for it. So that's, I'm going to make something, which is, there you go. Shut up. What? I'm gonna fix your legs. Don't worry. I'll fix his legs. Hello everyone. Welcome to episode 81. It is 81. I think. Yes. So today is about Salute, which is a convention in London, which I'm going to go to in a bit. But they've actually invited me to the Great British Make-Off with a few other people like Joe from Encounter Terrain. There's Rogue Hobbies taking part. There's Alex from 52 Miniatures. There's Tina and me. We're basically going to be building a bit of terrain. It's a competition to see who can make the best piece of terrain and win. Basically, we need to make a bit of terrain, take it there. They look at it and just decide which one is the best. And they vote on a winner, which is how competitions work. The person that's the winner is declared the best in the world amongst those 5 people. So I hope I win. So I've only got like a day or two before Salute, so that doesn't really leave me a lot of time. And as you know, I like to spend about 2 weeks on each of my builds with the edits and all that sort of stuff. So I need to build something really quick. When I started this channel, I was a big fan of Adam Savage and his one-day builds. And I figured, maybe I should try and do a one-day build. Let's see, maybe I won't film it as fancy pants as I usually do with all the edits and the stopgap animation. So I do apologise in advance. There will be a time lapse. You don't have to berate me in the comments because I feel pretty ashamed already. Yeah, you're not going to Salute. You're staying here. After Adepticon, he's not coming. If you stay here, though, I will promise to fix your legs, okay? Is that a deal? Okay, all right. So I guess I got to fix his legs before I leave for Salute as well, which is, it's fair enough because I did break them. But then again, I built them in the first place, so I gave and I took away, kind of like God or the post office. But anyway, let's get on with the build. So I'm going to do a quick sketch of what I want to build. Now you may be thinking, like, Bill, you've got one day. Why are you going to waste time drawing your build before? Just go and build it, Bill. Just go build it. Shut up. Drawing a little thing, planning the thing, saves you time in the long run. I'm sure someone said that. Well, it does. So the build can be a piece of terrain or a diorama. Now I'm going to do a piece of terrain and, so I can just chuck it into Respite and pretend it was always in Respite. But it's going to be Captain Charon's Goodles, or Charon. I'm not sure how to say that. Basically the boatman who went across the River Styx. He's going to make a noodle shack out of an old boat that he doesn't use anymore. And I thought, that could be nice and rusty and crusty and play to my strengths, basically. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that it had to be pirate themed. So, that's why it's pirate themed. It's quite hard for me to draw, but I want the boat to be kind of slanted and the little stand at the front to be horizontal and straight to kind of counteract the slanted crookedness of the thing. It's quite hard to draw that, but hopefully it's not too hard to build. I have scouted out a little plastic toy boat from my kid's bath time box, which he does play with, I'm going to be honest, not for much longer. So I got these new pens, and no doubt someone's going to ask, what were those pens you were using, Bill? They're basically Copic Chow? I don't know, I just got a grey tone set of Copic felt tip pens, and I bloody love them. I mean, that is an effective picture right there, and it's just a few marker pens. But just in case you wanted to know. So just a few notes there for me. It doesn't matter if you can't read my writing. That's none of your business. So there we go. Captain Karen's Goodles shack made out of half a boat. Let's go make it. So this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Now Squarespace is a website where you go to make websites. Now if you have no idea how to make a website, you don't know how to do with a HTML, is it HTML? I'm not sure. And you just want to make a website about things like, you know, like a pickle website, for example. Like, yeah, like that, like pickle perfection. That's it, Bill. Click there. If you just want to make a website that's quick and easy and clean and nicely designed, then go to Squarespace. I made this website in like, you know, it must have been like 0.5 seconds. Maybe a little bit longer, I'm not sure, but it was really easy and it looks pretty good, and I will add stuff to it at some point. But yeah, if you want to make your own website, there's a sale going on at Squarespace. There's a little link down below. Go and have a look. So here we go. Here is the time lapse of my one-day build. Now it's the only way I could really film it. I'm not going to make any more excuses for it. It's a time lapse, all right? Deal with it. No one hates it more than I do. But anyway, there is the plastic boat I stole from my kid's bath box, and I tried to stick it at a bit of a jaunty angle, you know. When I scouted this little boat out to begin with, I realised that the bottom didn't have that little curve, sort of archy bit that you would get at the bottom of a boat. So I kind of did that myself with some cheap card that I had laying about. Basically just trying to rough out the shape. So I basically just took all my little offcuts from EVA foam projects in the past, like corrugated EVA foam, and I'm just going to kind of round out the shape of the bottom of this boat. This bottom of the boat is going to be so crusty and rusty that you probably never see any of this, but the fact that the texture's there is, you know, good for me. I like the fact that if, you know, you looked between a few little bits of the crusted, you might see some corrugated metal. This thing's been repaired over and over and over again. So I'm going to tell you the story of Captain Karen, because this thing is canon within the whole Gutterlands lore. So I figure I should tell you it now. There's not really going to be a boring time with Bill in this video. Well, maybe the whole video, so I might as well tell you now. Captain Karen was a man who was born in Respite, and he wanted to explore the rest of the world. But unlike everyone else who wants to go up north past the rusty peaks, you know, past all the rusters and the giant rust piles and scrap beasts, all the dangerous stuff up there, he wanted to go south and sail across the Crooked Strait, which is this thin, narrow sea between two continents. Now, no one's ever really gone to the other side and come back, but Captain Karen figured, you know, he could do that. So Captain Karen decided to make a boat. He made it using scrap metal, any old junk he could find, old parts of spacecraft, wood, anything he could find basically, to make a generic kind of boat. Now it wasn't that impressive, but it was a boat and it probably would float. The only problem was he made it in the middle of the town of Respite and he had to get it to the coast, which was hundreds of miles away. So he needed a way to get it over to the coast to actually sail the thing. The mayor of Respite, Mr. Mayor himself, decided to help Captain Karen take his boat to the coast, like maybe partly publicity stunt, doesn't really matter. He used the rolling rocker to help drag it all the way miles and miles across the desert to the coast and sent him off on his little expedition across the Crooked Strait. So Captain Karen didn't go alone. He had a crew of about 10 people and he sailed across the Crooked Strait. It was pretty uneventful until they got about, you know, a third of the way across, and suddenly they looked around and there were these white sort of tentacles floating along the surface of the water for like miles, as far as the eye could see. Just strands, like string floating in water. And one of the sailors reached down to touch the stuff to see what it is and gets immediately paralysed and falls in the sea and drowns to death. Suddenly, the whole sea comes to life. The tentacles start flapping, vibrating, crazy, splashing water everywhere. The tentacles fly over the edge of the boat, start stinging all of the sailors on the boat. Captain Karen bursts out of his cabin with his sword, starts hacking them up, trying to turn the ship around, trying to get out of danger. And eventually he does, but he loses every single one of his crew members. But he does find a load of white tentacles on his boat. And he gets lost. So Captain Karen's ship is pretty much destroyed. He's adrift, he's alone, and starving to death. So he decides to try and cook up all of these white tentacles that are on his ship. They're very thin, like noodles, and he thinks, well, if I cook them long enough, maybe the toxin won't affect me. So he tried his first bowl, and he was paralysed for 2 days straight. But Captain Karen wasn't going to give up. Once he recovered from his paralysis, he decided to cook them for even longer. So this went back and forth until eventually, after much experimenting, he figured out the actual cooking time to eat these tentacles, and he called them goodles. Now these goodles, they still intoxicate you a bit, you feel slightly numb when you eat them, but in a nice way, in a nice relaxing way, and they don't taste too bad. Eventually, Captain Karen and his ship drifts to shore and is found by some members of the Respite community, and he decides to set up his Goodle shop. Building supplies are limited, so he decides to use his ship, and obviously it's quite thematic. He kept all of the crust and the barnacles on the bottom of the ship. You thought, it's like one of those themed restaurants, only it's not, it's an actual boat. But these goodles sell like hot cakes. People love goodles, it's like getting drunk and fill up at the same time. People love them, especially in Respite. They're all a bit weird there. Once in a while, he has to go back out to the sea and replenish his supplies, but now he does it at a safe distance, and he knows kind of what he's in for. But no one really knows who the tentacles belong to. There's been some old stories of a giant jellyfish called the Tiamat that kind of just floats around, about the size of a small city, that just floats on the surface of the water, waits for sea creatures to swim into its tentacles and absorbs them, like a jellyfish does. But no one's really seen this thing, but maybe, one day they will, and probably kill it, like most people in Respite. But there you go. That's the story of Captain Karen and his Goodle shop. I hope you enjoyed that. Now I'm just going to finish painting this thing up, and that's about it. So I've made the build. It's here. I'll show you nice glamour shots of this at the very end of the video if you stick around. That's all built. I did that in a day, which I was quite happy. And I fixed his legs. Look, I'll tell you about this later because I've got to go. I've got to go. All right, you're staying here, psychopath. So I'm here at Salute. It's like a convention for nerds and that, but that doesn't really matter. What I'm here for today is I've made this piece of terrain, and we're going to enter it into the competition. I'm not really a competitive sort of person, but I just really want to win this because I just want to be better than everyone else. So I hope I win it, in the most modest way possible. It doesn't matter if I win, as long as I win. The eye is a bit. It's pirate themed, which is lucky because of this. But this is unrelated. This was Cat wanted new legs, and plastic forks weren't doing it for him, so I gave him metal forks. Do you want to see it? Yeah, I'll show you. Just scream it, look away. It's not very pleasant. But anyway, this is where you buy all the miniatures and nerdy stuff and games and all that sort of stuff. And I don't care about that because I'm here to win. I'm here to win the competition of the year, the Great British Make-Of. This is where the competition is going to be held. I'm going to be sat just over there somewhere. Hopefully, he's here to see the show, which is good. Just over here. I'm sure it'll be safe. It'll be fine. Shall I take it out of the box?
morning and I just thought I'd bring it with me. Bill fella.
Gaming community, because anyone can make them and everyone has pipe cleaners. Just don't use the glittery tinsel ones because they will combust.
And how it was built in detail. That basically Bill? I can't see anything.
We just done the Great British Make-Off. Here's Alex. He arranged the whole thing, and you said I won, right? Did I win the competition with the?
It wasn't a competition, Bill.
So what the? Why did I? So I'm back from the salute, and turns out it wasn't a competition. No, it was just you just build it and talk about it on a panel. Luckily, I'm not a competitive person, so you know it didn't really bother me too much. I'm fine. What? Did I win? No, I didn't. I just told you it wasn't a competition. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. But you've already made the thumbnail and the title of the video. Yeah, but I already did that before you started watching it. So, but I got a few goodies from Salute. Some things were given to me by fans, and some things were given to me by companies, which were really nice. People that were fans and companies at the same time. I guess they're human too. I also got a lot of stickers. But you know what? I'm just gonna show you. Come on. So let's take a look at my special bag. We got some models here from Mick Model Making. Luckily, his surname is Model, which kind of works really well. Some nice little resin skulls that I think he sculpted himself. Got some paint brushes, because paint brushes are always cheaper at Salute for some reason. I mean, you know, pretty handy. Space Bastards, a bag of bastards. I mean, I bought these because they're called Space Bastards, but they're made by Mammoth Miniatures, who made Planet 28, which I really like. So you should probably go and check them out. And what else? We got a little miniature of Harry the Hammer. I think that's his name, from the Warhammer, the original Warhammer book. You know, that guy on the front cover with that really cool shield. You know, the shield that looked just like that. This is a mysterious yellow cube that I received. It just appeared in thin air. You know, there was some weird vortex, and like, I think it was a dice, but now it's just a mysterious yellow cube. A fan of the channel gave me this. Apparently they wanted to give it to me last year, but I wasn't available, so they've been waiting around at Salute all year round. I'm surprised they didn't kick him out, to be honest, but thank you very much for that. I got a bag full of snips from one of the stalls, and I had a little deeper look, and I found some God hands. Oh yes, some God hands. I've heard good things about God hands. I really appreciate those. And some cyano glue gel and some plastic cement. But it's, you know, that's the kind of goodie bag I like. Plus a little keyring to remind me of the company that gave it to me, Rubicon Models. They seem like lovely people. You should just go and buy some tanks of them or something. And I got stickers. Now I know everyone liked the sticker bit in my last video, so I'm going to do it again because you're just weird and you like sticker ASMR, if that's such a thing. So let's do that. And And there we go. That's all the stickers I have so far. I hope you enjoyed that, you sickos. So that's it for this episode. I did make something, you know, and there's going to be glamour shots coming up in a minute. It got a little bit bashed up on the way home in the car. We went over a few speed bumps and it seemed to have just smashed it to pieces. But luckily I did the glamour shots before that unfortunate accident in the car when it went over speed bumps and just broke into little pieces. Oh, it's bizarre. So come back next episode where I'm going to be making stuff in the old usual Bill Making Stuff style of episode, where I build something and loads of fancy editing and sound effects, all that annoying stuff that you don't seem to like so much, just like him. Hopefully the eye will grow back by then. I'm not very good with biology, but I'll assume it'll grow back by that episode, and everything will be back to normal. As normal as it can be. See you next time. So there we go, Goodles, Captain Caron's Goodle Shack. I should have wrote Shack on there, but there we go. 1 day build. I've never done a 1 day build before. Let me know if the time lapse was not as bad as you thought, you know, because then I could maybe do those again. They're a bit quicker to put together. But I will go back to the usual kind of standard of episode next episode. If you enjoy this, please consider joining Patreon. It's the only way I make enough money to keep the channel going. I've lost a lot of patrons lately. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's all the conventions I've been going to and not making the old usual stuff I make, but I will, so stick around. And a big thank you to all my patrons that stuck with me. I really appreciate it. Usually I'd make a joke here about the patrons, but honestly, you're keeping this channel alive and my children alive with food, so thank you very much. I really appreciate